Hello everybody, today I'm going to be making another character guide. I had a lot of fun making the Farazan guide and I wanted to make another one. In the last video I was asked to make either a Ningguang or Beidou guide and I decided to do Ningguang. So this video is going to be a very basic guide on how to play Ningguang if you want to start playing her. The first thing you want to know about Ningguang is that she is a main DPS Geo Catalyst user. In fact, she is the first Geo Catalyst user in the game. So her kit is very simple compared to characters from now, like Alhaitham and Beiju. She wants to be on the field a lot to use her skills and normal attacks mixed with charge attacks in order to deal the most damage she can. The first thing we need to look at when looking at Ningguang is her talents. So the first thing I want to talk about with Ningguang's talents is her passive talent backup plan. What this does is pretty simple. It simply makes it so when you're in possession of a Star Jade, your charge attack will consume no stamina at all. There are a few different ways you can get a hold of Star Jades, one of them being with your normal attack. Ningguang's normal attack is pretty different from the other characters in the game, and it can make her feel a bit slow at times. Ningguang's normal attack is only one attack that deals geo damage. Upon hitting an opponent with her normal attack, Ningguang will gain 1 Star Jade, and she can do this until she has obtained 3 Star Jades. Her charge attack deals greater geo damage, and if Ningguang is holding on to any Star Jades, she will fire them off, doing additional damage per Star Jade that hits an enemy. Ningguang's skill is called Jade Screen, and this does a few different things. First, when you use Jade Screen, it will deal AoE geo damage and put a screen up. Once the Jade Screen is on the field, it can also block enemy projectiles, and the amount of damage that it could take scales with Ningguang's max HP, and only one Jade Screen can be on the field at a time. Ningguang's burst, Shatterstar, is pretty straightforward as well, as what it does is create a bunch of gems and fires them at enemies, dealing massive geo damage. If Jade Screen is nearby, Jade Screen will also fire additional gems when Ningguang casts her burst. The cost and cooldown for this ability are both low, with the cost being 40 and the cooldown being 12 seconds. Ningguang's other passive talent is whenever a character goes through her Jade Screen, they will gain a 12% geo damage bonus for 10 seconds. So I would recommend that you first want to max out her normal attacks because this is what you're going to be using the most, then her burst, and finally her skill, as leveling her skill will not up the damage of her burst gems or the geo damage bonus. So next, what we need to go over is Ningguang's constellations. Constellation 1 makes Ningguang's normal attacks deal AoE damage. Constellation 2 resets the cooldown on Jade Screen when it shatters, and this can be reset every 6 seconds. Constellation 3 levels her burst up by 3. Constellation 4 allows Jade Screen to increase all nearby characters' elemental resistance by 10%. Constellation 5 increases her skill by 3. And Constellation 6, which is definitely her best constellation, after using her burst, she gains 7 Star Jades that can be fired off with her next charged attack. Now to talk about Ningguang's artifacts. For Ningguang, there are a few different sets to go depending on how you are using her. I recommend playing her as a main DPS as she wants to be on the field a lot using normal and charge attacks. I would recommend going a 2-piece Petra and a 2-piece emblem, as this gives you geo damage bonus as well as ER so that you can use your burst as soon as possible. If you don't have a good emblem set, then something like a 2-piece Noblesse can work as well to make her burst even stronger. You can also go 2-piece Glad or 2-piece Shiminawas, but you do want the 2-piece Petra. I feel that it is a must. What you can do if you don't want to grind that domain is grind the emblem domain and use the strongbox to get the Petra pieces, as farming the emblem domain could give you a 2-piece emblem or a 2-piece Shiminawas, and then you can get the Petra piece obviously from the strongbox like I just said. For Ningguang's weapons, there are a lot of ways that you can go. Most of Ningguang's best weapons I do not have, like Lost Prayer giving you both crit rate and elemental damage, or Verity giving you crit damage as well as just a lot of damage in general. Skyward Atlas is a fine weapon as it gives you elemental damage and makes your normal attacks give you Favor of the Clouds, which can do a lot of damage as well. My personal favorite weapon right now is Tule Tula's, as it gives you attack speed and just gives you a lot of damage on your normal attacks, as well as giving you crit damage. Some really good 4-star options are Solar Pearl or the Witsith. The Witsith being my favorite 4-star option as it gives you a lot of crit damage and gives you 2 good buffs and 1 not so good buff. For Ningguang's teams, I would definitely recommend running other Geo characters, of course. Someone like Albedo can help you as he is a good off-field damage dealer and he can get you elemental particles and shield shards. And also the Geo Residence, which increases shield strength by 15%, and while affected by shields, you also get the following buffs: damage increase of 15% and geo res of enemies is decreased by 20% for 15 seconds. Another character you can run is someone like Garo, which is what I'm running right now. He gives you a lot of buffs that can be good, like geo damage bonus and defense. At C4 he can also be a healer. The character that you really want though, and that you want to try to put on any geo team, is Zhongli, as he is just a broken geo character. Having 3 geo characters for Garo to get the full buff and help Ningguang just do the most damage she can is going to be super useful, and I highly recommend 3 geo characters for a geo team in general. For the 4th slot, it's kind of up to you and what you need or what you want. If you feel like you need a healer, you can go someone like Kokomi, Barbara, or Bennett. These characters can help you with healing and getting you elemental shields. Someone like Zhang Ling can also be a good choice, as she is a good off-field unit and the best in my opinion. She can deal good damage and get you shields. The person I like to run though is Xing Chu, as he does good damage off-field, gives you damage reduction, and increases your resistance interruption, as well as healing you. Seriously, this character is actually really good, and I'll probably make a video on him next. Some final thoughts on Ningguang that I have. Ningguang is not going to be a character for everybody. The lack of reactions and love given to geo teams just isn't there to make the teams as fun as other teams for most people. Ningguang herself can feel a bit slow at times, and if you don't have Zhongli on the team, you can be missing out on some good damage with her Jade screen, and the fact that she was one of the first batch of characters just doesn't help her either, as her kit is a lot less than the others. She can still put up good damage numbers granted you have invested into her and your geo supports, but it's the same for every single character in the game. I had a lot of fun building my Ningguang and trying her out again because it was forever since the last time I played her, but in the current meta of the game, with Dendro being huge right now, she isn't sitting in a pretty spot. Anyways, I hope this guide helped anyone that watched, and I hope you guys have an awesome day and stay joyful. Peace!